Hey, what's up? It's me again. Well, here I am back with another video finally, and I am so glad that we have reached the month of July. I love July because, for one thing, I love patriotic things, and for another, I am so sick and tired of hearing about pride. Okay, I'm sick to death of that. Words cannot describe how sick I am of hearing about LGBT issues. Okay, what I'd like to talk about in this video, which I hope will be relatively short because I don't have the luxury of being able to do a lot while my dad is at work because, for obvious reasons, I'm not in Texas. Okay, so I have to really hurry up with these videos. But what I'd like to talk about today is something that nobody, seems to be talking about. And it is the very interesting subject of the Supreme Court refusing to hear the case about transgender students using the bathroom. Now, why no conservative YouTuber thinks they can make a video about that subject is something I don't understand. You know, why other people do not make videos about the interesting subject of the world. Sure, I've made a lot of interesting videos, I think, but I shouldn't be the only show in town, okay? There are just too many things that are interesting that other people are just not talking about, okay? And one of them is this bathroom thing. I've searched and searched and searched all the people I know to be conservative. I've searched by topic, and for some strange reason, all these strong conservative people that want to save the world from the left seem to fall silent on this issue, and it makes me really mad, okay? Because it's just so infuriating the way that they're doing this. By using F to M's to be the face of those fighting for rights so that we will feel sorry for them, because let's face it, you wouldn't feel sorry for someone born male to the extent that you feel sorry for someone born female, okay? And so it's just so infuriating that they will take a few people born female, that would like to use the boys' locker room and the boys' bathroom, and they will make it about that, to try to say that trans people should be allowed to use the bathroom that represents the gender that they identify as being, okay? And it's just so infuriating because, yes, that's problematic, okay? Yes, I have an issue with someone who has female genitals wanting to use the men's room, but nowhere near to the extent that it would be a problem if it were the other way around, okay? So it really makes me mad because it's like they're using F to M's, and while it isn't good for them to use the men's room, why a unisex room wasn't good enough, I don't understand. I would certainly have been okay with that. Like if I'd have been in high school and my parents would have been stupid enough to allow me to live as a boy, I would have been totally cool with that. If the teacher would have said, okay, here's a unisex bathroom, use that, I would have never made an issue about it. I would have been totally fine. If that was the extent to which they would accommodate me, that would be good enough. Why it isn't good enough, I have no idea. And why someone who is several years out of high school would want to take it to the Supreme Court when the issue is basically over. Okay, they're out of high school. That's another thing I don't understand. Seriously, who cares? It was years ago. Get over it. So it really makes me mad because they're using people, as their proxies, basically. They're using females that pass for male to get these things passed. But the disastrous consequences occur when you allow people who were born male but identify as female to enter the female locker room, okay? And that's what really makes me mad, okay? It's bad enough that you have girls that want to use the men's room, even though they're a vulnerable teenage girl. They think that because they dress in boy clothes, that makes them a boy somehow, which I think is absurd. That's like saying my haircut, because it isn't 2 feet long, makes me a man. And I have to correct people all the time for calling me dude, like as if that's my name. Okay, my name isn't dude. So, my mom painted my nails. I have to get them repainted for the 4th. But anyway, so it really makes me mad, that cases like these are going to, you see, the problem isn't so much them using the men's room, it's them opening our bathroom door in the process to men, figuratively speaking. It's the fact that because of them, the male to females are now being allowed to use the women's rooms, okay? And believe me, it's uncomfortable enough, or I'm not uncomfortable. I'm totally fine with using a women's bathroom. But I mean, there are girls that are uncomfortable just with all women in that bathroom. Just think how bad it would be if genetic males were allowed to use the women's room, okay? I can use the bathroom with no problem whatsoever. But, there are some women that don't even like to go to a public bathroom with other women, okay? And when you put in the threat of a potential rapist, someone born male that still has their genitals, then you have a really serious problem, okay? And it just makes me really mad because some people think, it's because women want to perpetuate the idea that girls don't poo, that's the reason we don't want men in our bathrooms. Well, no, it's because of what men can do, okay? It's because women cannot rape others in the way that a man can. So yeah, it just really makes me mad because, I would love to talk to my mom about it. Wouldn't really like to talk to my dad because I feel uncomfortable, just saying the word bathroom to him, really. It's not something I would be comfortable talking to him about. And of course they both agree with me generally, they have a conservative viewpoint. But my mom doesn't really want to talk about it. And it's just something that really makes me mad, and I don't quite understand why other people are not talking about it. Sure, there's a few people who talk about the sports issue of M to F's breaking women's records, but they won't talk about the bathroom. And that's just really sad because, it's like, if they're so conservative, why don't they get on YouTube and make a video about it? It's a serious issue. It's a much more serious issue to me than the sports thing because I don't really care about sports. It's a much more serious issue that someone born male with male genitals could find a way to enter the women's bathroom. And what's really hypocritical is, all these preachers that say that because of the signs on the bathroom door, women should wear skirts and dresses, only men should wear pants, and men should never use the women's bathroom and vice versa, which I totally agree with, men not using the women's bathroom. But those same people are so hypocritical that the moms will actually, like I've stated before, take their little boys into the ladies' room, and let them use our precious few toilets. I don't really have a problem, with boys entering the women's bathroom in and of itself. I don't have a problem. I will use the toilet when there's a little boy in there, and I don't have a problem with it. If they're getting a diaper change, there's nothing wrong with it. Or even if they're just, hanging out with their mom, they're just standing there while she uses the bathroom. I don't care about that. What bothers me is for them to take up our toilets. They have toilets in the men's room. And, children or little girls almost never enter the men's room for obvious reasons. Men are not caregivers. Okay? But it really makes me mad, when these strong conservative people never address that issue. They never address that issue. They might touch on the bathroom issue with the trans people, but they never discuss, how hypocritical it is to say that trans people, should not be allowed to use the women's bathroom, but then they'll take their 5-year-old boys into the women's bathroom and have them take up one of our precious few toilets, like I say, that is the issue that I have with it. Them taking up our toilets, those toilets are for women. We never have enough. So they don't need to be putting their ass on our few precious toilets. okay? But I just don't understand why people never want to discuss these issues. Why am I the only one, who wants to discuss these things?